VizMag.com.
What actors inspired you to get into this industry?
Oh, there's like so many at this point, and people are just always inspiring me too, even newer people that are coming up. But I think a lot of the people that I look up to still are Kari Waldron, Laura Bailey, Troy Baker, Steve Bloom, Grey Delisle, Tara Strong, just a bunch of like the really big names that everybody pretty much knows. I think they're all great. So.
Good taste.
So currently, one of your biggest roles is Ryuko Matoi from
Yes.
Kill la Kill. In performing that role, what did you find was the biggest difficulty for you?
Definitely the screaming. That show is about 80-90% screaming, and normally I'm a pretty quiet person, especially before that show happened, because who knew that me being newer, I would be thrown into a role that big. So it was really intimidating for me as a quiet person. So I really grew with that role, I feel like, not just mentally and emotionally, but also vocally. Because if you've seen the entire show, I like to think that my screams, you can tell that they're getting stronger throughout the series. So while it was difficult, I think it was a really good experience for me and really helped me grow as an actor.
Okay, when it comes to Sailor Moon S, and I know that your voice, Haruka Tenoh, Sailor Uranus, was that the role you originally intended, or were you shooting for one of the other outers?
Oh, yeah, I did audition for Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn. I think actually, I kind of wanted Saturn because, I don't know, I didn't really watch Sailor Moon too much growing up because I grew up in the Midwest and it would always be on before I came home from school, so I didn't really get a chance to watch it too much. But for some reason, I just always was attached to Hotaru, Sailor Saturn, so that's kind of what I was sort of going for, but I feel like her role, Christine Cabanos ended up getting that, and there's so many multi-facets to that character that I haven't heard too much of Christine yet in it, but from what I have heard, I think she was probably the best one for that, so I'm really glad she got it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you've done quite a bit of anime, but you've also been in Rainbow Dash, you've been Pac-Man. Have you had any challenges switching between the different genres?
I mean, not too much. It's all acting, and changing my voice here and there. But it is fun to get to play iconic characters like that. For Rainbow Dash, I'm not the official voice of Rainbow Dash. I just played her in a few web shorts. So that was fun, getting to basically voice match an already existing character, and kind of was the same for Pac-Man too. I got to voice match the actor who does Pac-Man for the Disney XD show in Canada. They decided to do the video game in LA, so I did the voice match and ended up booking the role, and now I get to say I'm Pac-Man, which is really awesome. So I think that's a really cool part of the industry, being able to voice match stuff like that and be characters like that. But as far as the transition between the genres, I feel like they've got their pros and cons. One of the questions I get a lot at conventions is what's the difference between working on anime and working in video games? And like I said, they both have their pros and cons. Anime, you kind of already have the characters to the picture, and you just dub to what's going on in the picture, so you can see what emotions they're going through, and maybe how loud you're supposed to get, because we hear playbacks too. For video games, we don't get that luxury. It's kind of, but it's a different luxury in itself, because you kind of get to go freeform and do it sort of in your own way. Sometimes you'll get references, most of the time you won't, but there's no picture you get to see as to what the character looks like when they're saying, when you're doing that line. So again, pros and cons, but I don't know if either of them is necessarily harder than the other, but they've got their moments for sure.
Robert. Have you
have you been enjoying Atlantic City so far? I mean, have you ever been here before, for the convention or for otherwise?
No, I haven't actually. Just got here about an hour ago. I had a fun plane adventure with my red eye last night. So, but I haven't got to see too much yet. We just drove in, and it's beautiful so far. I'm really enjoying it.
Thank you.
Oh, is it me? What's
You
the
go.
weirdest or funniest direction you've ever been given in the booth?
Those are always so hard to remember. But actually, I just got to announce that I'm in Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans
Nice.
as Cracker. She's amongst having a silly name. She's one of the twins of one of the main characters, Biscuit, and she's a young girl, so her voice is like a lot higher pitched than my normal voice, of course, because she's, I don't know how old, like 6 to 10, I can't remember exactly, but it wasn't vocally presented to me, but the director would write in the script, "sound more annoying." So I don't know why, but that would always make me laugh. Just because it's just so silly to like have somebody tell you that they want you to sound more annoying. But the director for that show, Chris Kaysen, is just funny as it is. So I'm sure he's given me more funny directions, but it's just so hard because I feel like some always top the other ones, and that's the one that kind of is recent within my memory. Yeah.
So probably one of your most powerful roles is Yuki Kono from Sword Art Online 2, where you play a character who is terminally ill with HIV and AIDS, and is using Sword Art Online as a method to cope with it, and some attempt to give her some closure or that stuff. That had to be such a difficult role with all the emotions and everything going on. What was the most difficult part of that performance for you?
For me, the most difficult part was kind of getting over myself, I feel like, because I was so scared that I wasn't going to be able to give it justice, because I know a lot of people have like the sub and dub war, and I watched the sub for that arc of Sword Art Online 2 to kind of research the role, and the Japanese performance is so powerful. Like, it made me cry, and when I watched it twice, and it made me cry each time. So I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to bring that emotion to the character. I mean, not that I wasn't going to be able to, but that people wouldn't see it the same way. But luckily, I think a lot of people did find it pretty touching, which was a good feeling for me. But I feel like I can feel proud of a performance like that, because I don't get to do them too often. But I can feel proud of a performance like that when I do have a lot of people that, will respond back and tell me how much like it touched them in a way. And I'll have people that come to me at conventions and can't fully express how much that character meant to them without crying or almost crying. So I'm really glad I got to play Yuki, because I'm glad I was able to affect people, and the role itself affected me in a way. Because I cried while I recorded it. Like, that's how powerful that scene is, I think.
Okay, I'm just wondering, have you always wanted to be a voice actress?
I feel like I've gone through phases. There was a time when I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be a firefighter for some reason. I don't know why. I used to watch wrestling a lot. At one point I wanted to be a professional wrestler. I don't know. A veterinarian, because I love animals. Voice acting was kind of something that came up when I started getting into anime, about at age 12 or 13 or so about half my life ago. And at first it was kind of a hobby. Like, I looked it up online, and I found a lot more people were interested in it, so I joined communities and like did projects with other people online, and eventually it just became something that I was totally invested in, and I felt like I wanted to go further with it. And there were some trials and tribulations with it, but I actually eventually ended up getting a degree in animation. Haven't done anything with it, so I just paid off all those loans for nothing pretty much. But I have a degree, I can say I have a degree. And then I ended up moving to California with my boyfriend, who also does voiceover. And he moved from New York to California to pursue more animation voiceover because Los Angeles is more prominent for that. And so I was fully content just, going with him, watching his career blossom. And because I did the online work, so long ago, I have a lot of friends who are in the industry now, and they knew that I did that, so they would recommend me to places, and then I started taking classes for voiceover, and I'd have people recommend me to studios, and it just kind of like avalanched from there, and I got really lucky that I got in at the time that I did, because there was I feel like I've practiced more on my young boy voices, and that was something they needed at the time, so it was, like I said, really lucky that I got in when I got in, because that's what they needed at that, what was it, like 3-4 years ago, I think, when
Cool.
I started.
As a kid growing up, I used to watch like a lot of Astro Boy, Voltron, Robotech, and Gotcha Man. What inspired you to start getting into like anime? Like, what were your favorite animes and mangas growing up as a kid?
Oh, well, before I knew what anime was, I would watch Speed Racer with my dad. So
MTV.
looking back on it, it was kind of crazy that kind of just is where I ended up. But when I actually knew what anime was, it was a lot of the like midday Toonami block that they had. So, and then the later on one too when they did that. So like Outlaw Star, Cowboy Bebop, Gundam Wing, G Gundam, a lot of that stuff. And then when I kind of broke out of that, it was like outside of that network, there was like Trigun, Chobits, Fruits Basket is still one of my favorite anime to this day. But yeah, I think that's a lot of like what got me started.
Wow.
It's a wide range of things.
Go ahead.
Now, when you audition for a role, how much of the premise of whatever series you're auditioning for are you given beforehand?
On the audition sites, they usually have like a short description. I don't know where they pull it from. I know it's basically probably anything you'd find on any anime site like Crunchyroll that has like the description of the basic premise and like what characters are in it and what characters are involved with that character that you're auditioning for. Sometimes I know about the show, being a fan, sometimes I know about the show prior, either because I've looked up into it or I've watched it, or I have friends that are really into it, so I'll sometimes have, information other than what they give me. But yeah, they usually provide a little bit of that, and then you get your lines, and then you read for the character, and you send it in. That's kind of how that process works.
Has working in this business taught you anything about yourself?
That's a deep question. Yeah, I feel like it has. This is hard. Like I said before, I'm a very kind of reserved person. I was much more reserved when I was younger than I am now, but I feel like part of that has been voiceover kind of making me break out of my shell because it's something that I want to do, so I had to kind of force myself to do it. And I guess, when you love something that much, you're gonna work and do whatever you can to achieve your dreams. And I feel like I've never been so dedicated towards something in my life, and it's kind of a nice feeling. And I never thought I'd move out of my parents' house as early as I did and move out and live on my own in California. So I learned to become a dependent adult because I wanted to follow this dream, or an independent adult, not a dependent adult. That would be bad. And I mean, I still have stage fright. That's always just been a thing. Even at panels, I still get a little nervous, but it's a lot lessened now. But I never thought I'd get over that in the way that I had, But it's just, again, like, if it's something you love, like you're gonna go for it. And that's kind of when people ask me for voiceover advice, when they say that they're shy and they have stage fright, that's kind of what I tell them, because that's from my experience, that's what helped me. And it's not easy for everyone, but I don't know. It's just, I just feel like that's just how I did it, and that's what worked for me.
So, So far, what have been some of your favorite funny moments from the booth?
Ooh, those are hard to remember. I'm trying to think. There was a story that I told at panels about a voice bomb that the director for Kill la Kill, Alex Von David, wanted me to leave for Patrick Seitz, who plays Gamagori in that show. And I didn't want to do it because it was like something kind of sexual that they wanted to put on a scene that was kind of already a little bit sexual, because if you know Kill la Kill, it's, you know, it's not the most tame show on the planet. But there's a scene in Kill la Kill during the Ryuko Gamagori fight, and Gamagori is in his like bondage, whatever superpower mode at that point, and he's whipping Ryuko with these like bondage tentacle whips. Like, it's really weird. And the original line was her just going ow, 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 ow over and over again as he hits her. And he wanted me, I'm not going to do it verbatim. If you want to hear it, there's blooper reels on the internet from a panel that we did at Anime Expo a few years ago. But he basically had me go, "Oh, Patrick, please don't stop," as his character is whipping my character. So that, I'm not like an overly sexual person, so for me that was really embarrassing. But it made a lot of people laugh, including Patrick, who it just got played for him randomly as he was recording his line without him knowing. So he told me afterwards that he laughed, and even in the blooper reel you can kind of hear him laugh about it. So I'm glad it ended up being funny for people.
Okay, we've been talking about what voice acting and the work behind it, but let's talk outside of work. What kind of fun stuff do you like to do? I mean, rock climbing, video gaming, or just chilling, you know?
I play video games. I'm really into Overwatch right now.
Who's your character?
Oh, I really like Mercy.
All of that.
Well, because I play League of Legends too, and
Okay.
I'm kind of a support player, so
Oh, okay.
Mercy's been really cool. But I do like Tracer and Junkrat also. So games like that I think are really fun. I'm not good at them, but I have fun playing them. So yeah, a lot of video gaming. I do. I play JRPGs, puzzle games, rhythm games. I used to be big into DDR back in the day. I play a lot of Love Live. Is that a judgmental?
No, I play Love Live.
Okay.
I just had to start all over again because my phone had to be reset, and
Gotcha.
there are 3 DDR machines.
Oh, are there?
Yes,
Might have to
yes.
hit those up. I haven't played in a while. I'll be rusty.
There are a lot of rhythm games over there.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll have to go check it out. That's so cool. Yeah, I a lot of video games. I like going to karaoke with friends, and just eating. I like eating. Food is good. Trying new things. Going to various like sweet shops and having ice cream, and I love boba, bubble tea. So we go out and get that from different places.
Awesome.
Okay, so I was curious, how do you feel when you walk around conventions and you see all the people dressed as the characters you voiced, and have you ever considered cosplaying?
It's still really crazy to me. Like I have cosplayed in the past. I'm like I said, I'm a fan of anime, so I went to conventions. My hometown convention is Anime Central, and I actually was a guest there a few weeks ago, which was really awesome. It's kind of a
Nice.
full circle thing. And I used to cosplay there as various characters, and it's weird because like I've met the people that like voice some of the characters I cosplay, so now it's kind of the reverse situation where I'm meeting people that cosplay as my characters, and sometimes like I'll go kind of covertly take pictures of them because most people don't know what I look like, they just know my voice. So if I don't say too much, they usually don't know it's me, and I'll just be like, "Hey, I really like your cosplay. Can I take a picture with you or of you?" You know, some people recognize me, some don't. But it's cool. It's really cool. I've had people try to out me to cosplayers before, and sometimes you get a pretty crazy reaction from them. But I don't like to throw attention on myself like that, so I usually don't point myself out. But and as for like cosplaying for me recently, I actually cosplayed as my character from Kill la Kill at Youmacon last year. I was at Youmacon for Halloween, and I did like a little kind of casual cosplay. It's like she just wears like a jacket that I had bought off eBay, and then pants and a scarf, and then I had the wig. And now I don't need the wig because I've got my hair for that. But yeah, I love cosplay. I think it's a really cool creative outlet for people, and I love seeing like really well done costumes that people have done. And even the ones that people have bought, like if you buy them and you look good in them, like more power to you. Like it's all really cool. Yeah.
Do you have any dream roles that you wanted to land, or do you have something like in the future that you want to see like adapted to like animation or
Yeah.
something like that you wanted to get a part in?
Yeah, I keep saying when people ask me this, if they did like like I said, Fruits Basket is one of my favorite anime. If they did like a remake of Fruits Basket, kind of like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood style, based off the manga, like I think that'd be really cool. I'd love to be anything in it, just because it's one of those full circle projects for me. As for like actual roles, I can't think of any in particular, but I have a lot of series that I'd love to be in. I really like Tales of games, so I'd want to be in one of those. Persona games, I love Final Fantasy games. Anything Disney, I think would be really cool, or like X-Men, stuff like that I kind of grew up on. But yeah, those are some of the big series that I think I'd like to be in at some point.
That's nice.
Let's see. What if I go- Oh, if you could montage your career in one song, what would it be?
If I could montage my career in one song. I feel like this is kind of cliche because I have, that's the thing. It's a thing that people say to me all the time because of my role in Kill la Kill, but the Ryuko's theme song and that Don't Lose Your Way, I think is a good montage song because it's very like powerful and even within the English of the lyrics, but it's just, it's really take a lot of inspiration from just that one line, Don't Lose Your Way. So I think that might have to be it. That's what comes to mind right now. Anyway, there's so many songs that you could apply to stuff like that, but I think that one's
Can't go wrong with that.
yeah.
Okay, so for this question, I'm going to give you a chance to flip the script on me,
Okay.
and I'm going to have you ask you, what question would you like to ask me, a fan?
Oh. Whoa, that threw me off guard.
Hopefully in a good way, not
No.
a...
Oh, man. Tables have turned. I don't know, why do you like anime? Like, what makes you stay in this fandom?
What makes me stand in this fandom is the family.
Yeah?
Because when you go to conventions, there's nothing like it. Like, I actually feel, for better or for worse, like I belong somewhere.
Yeah.
It's something I don't feel when I'm working behind the counter of a McDonald's or even going to school or anywhere. Same thing, reason why I go and hang out with the friends I do. It's also the fact that there really is, for animation, not just Japanese animation, but American animation, studying the animation, debating whether anime can be American or not, whether there is such thing as American anime, and all these things. It's a matter of animation can cover so many things.
Mm-hmm.
It can cover this fantastic fantasy battle between orcs and elves and humans in this far-off world, to this space opera in a galaxy far, far away, to some simple love story that's right around the corner at the candy store.
Yeah.
To me, that's the power of animation, and that's what keeps me in this fandom.
I totally agree with that. Like, that's basically, anytime I have to answer a question like that, like, what do I like about the community? That's basically my answer, but you put it a lot more eloquently than I feel like I ever could.
Well, I try to practice. I put panels around this stuff.
Okay. All right.
Wait, now you mentioned karaoke earlier. I was just curious. What is your go-to song?
I just can't wait to be king from Lion King.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know why, Lion King's just always been one of those movies that I just really like, and It's one of those, it's just that song that like, I know I always want to do. So, and when people are flipping through the book trying to pick their songs, I'm like, well, I'll just do this one because it's fun and everybody knows it, so everybody can, help me sing it. It's a good song.
You mentioned Gundam earlier. Are there any other projects that you're working on that you can discuss?
The big one right now is Hunter x Hunter. I play Gon in that, the lead character. That one's really fun. It's on Toonami, which is my fourth. Well, I'm in 4 now because of Gundam being on Toonami. But that's another like really cool full circle thing for me because a lot of the anime I watched, like I mentioned earlier, was on Toonami. So being able to be on the network that helped me get into the anime fandom is so cool to me. That's the big one. As far as anime goes, I just got to announce that Atelier Sophie just came out. It's a part of a big series, Atelier series, and I've been in a game before, but this one's exciting because I don't have to buy my character for DLC to play them in the game. So I play Leon, I think her name is. It's spelled Leon, but it's pronounced Leon, and she's really cool. So.
You play a character in the Dead or Alive series, right?
Oh yeah.
As you were saying, they downloaded content post-release.
Yeah.
Did you actually play Dead or Alive yourself, or any kind of fighting game like that?
Not like. It's more of a casual thing for me. I did download Dead or Alive so I could play my character because I thought she was really interesting in a way because she apologizes a lot, but she's like a really strong fighter, and I thought that dynamic was kind of interesting. And she's really cute. I love playing cute characters. So I played a little bit of that just to kind of like hear all the lines that I did and how they came out. I've played a little bit of Smash Brothers.
Who's your go-to character in that?
Smash Brothers? I think Link. I haven't played in a while, but can't go wrong with Link. But what else? I used to play Mortal Kombat when I was a kid. The like really the good one, not the newer. I mean, I haven't played any of the newer ones, so I can't say if they're good or not. But Mortal Kombat was always fun.
Out of all the characters you've played, who's the most like you and the least like you?
I feel like the least like me probably has to be, just because I can't think of any other thing, all the young boys I've played, because obviously I'm not a 10-year-old boy. And they're a lot peppier than I am, and like more outgoing, I feel like, so it's hard to relate to them a lot of the time. But they are fun to play, like I love playing them so much. And I've realized that the one that's the most like me is probably Nico from Love Live, just because I've slowly realized that yeah, I mean, I pretty much am Nico. I got all my friends into Love Live, and I love School Idols, so I've been quoted to say that pretty frequently. And Nico really loves School Idols, and the fact that like, people can be brought together because of School Idols, and just how amazing they are. Like they dance, they sing, they like do all these things, and it's really cool. So that's the one I like to think I am the most like, at least for now.
So you were making mention earlier about growing up watching Toonami and watching Gundam Wing. You made mention as one of the animes you were watching that you fell in love with. So since we at the Absolution Network hold Gundam Wing in such high esteem, what are your favorite moments from that series?
Ooh, gosh, it's hard to remember. I don't know if I remember anything from that one. Jeez. Yeah, I don't know. I just remember, because that was another one of those shows that kind of like, it wasn't my favorite Gundam. Like G Gundam was actually my favorite Gundam.
Oh, if G Gundam was, then
If G Gundam was?
then you can use G Gundam.
Oh, well, I just love any scene with Allenby because I thought Allenby was such a cool character. Because she's so like, she was kind of just unlike any other female characters at the time in any sort of animation. And I really enjoyed her, and just all the like, looking back on G Gundam, because I watched it with some friends recently, just all the like blatant racism, I think was really hilarious. Watching it as a kid when it was on Toonami, like I didn't notice any of that. I was just like, oh, these are cool, you know, like robots, and you know, before I knew what mech was at the time. I don't know, it's a really fun series because it kind of takes itself seriously, but it's not really. And I really like that juxtaposition because Gundam Wing was like super serious, but G Gundam I feel like was G Gundam was like a nice fresh breath of air.
Did you ever stand in front of the mirror and go, "My name is Birdie"?
No, but I did sing the theme song a lot. That was a good one.
Okay, best piece of advice you can tell anybody who wants to get into the industry?
I kind of covered it a little bit earlier. Like, I feel like a lot of people that want to get in this industry are shy, you know, like I am or like I was or whatever you want to consider it as. But like if it's something you really want to do, like you're gonna do the best you can to get over your fears. And it may be a slow process. It may be, you know, quicker for some people. But if it's something you really want to do, you're gonna go out and do it. So start taking those, you know, acting classes, whether it's in school or you're doing community theater or you're finding improv classes, or you just get together with friends and just start, you know, acting out scenes like Who's Line style, or you just get an improv group together and start doing stuff like that. And you have to move at some point. Like if you're from, I don't know what's in New Jersey, if or just anywhere in this. Well, I know New York kind of has a market for stuff like that, but outside of that, like if you want to do a lot of anime or video games or like Western animation, you're gonna have to move to LA. If you want to do just anime, you can move to Texas. They do a few video games there too, but it's something you have to like invest into. It's not a cheap career. You have to buy equipment and take classes and stuff like that. And never stop learning. I think that's a really important part of it. Like I still take classes. I know people that have taken classes with Bill Farmer, who plays Goofy, and he still takes classes. And how long has he been playing Goofy? You know, like just you always want to keep your skills up, and you know, you never know when you're going to find something new that you didn't know previously about yourself or about the industry in general.
Cool, thank you.
Okay, we had a bunch of our readers want to ask you a specific role that you did. They wanted to know if you had any fun stories of being Aladdin and working on Magi.
Oh, Magi, that was one of my first big ones. I really enjoyed Magi. It was a series that a friend had told me about previously before the auditions went out. So it was kind of like my goal to get in with the Bang Zoom Studios, who did the dub, and I managed to do it. And I would have taken any part in Magi because I thought it was such a cute series, but I managed to get Aladdin, the character I wanted, which was really special for me. And he was really interesting because it was one of my first big ones, like I said. So it was a huge learning process for me because it was something that was going to be widespread, and it was my first experience with like promotional convention stuff. I got to go to SakuraCon because of it, and that was a really special, you know, moment for me. You know, the turnout wasn't so great as far as like people that like came to my panels and my autograph line, because nobody knew who I was at the time, but I just had so much fun with it that I just didn't really care, you know, and it led to bigger and better things, you know. So but Aladdin's always going to be like one of my top favorites, I think, just because I like how well-rounded of a character he is. He's, you know, he's cute, he's friendly, he just wants to make friends and with anyone, like whether they're good or bad, and but he also has this like moments where he's really strong and he knows he has to do something to make a difference in people. So I really enjoyed him.
Based on what you've experienced so far this week, do you think you'll be back next year for AnimeNEXT, provided it's in the same area?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen too much of the con yet, so I don't know what it's all about, but I'm excited for this weekend, and I can't wait to see more of everything and meet all the people and browse the dealer's hall and see the gaming room and all that stuff. But I mean, if they were to invite me back, yeah, I'm sure I'll have a good time this weekend, and I'd love to come back.
Thank you.
RiseMag.com.